let's have a food discussion. All right, should we scooch that table over a little bit more? What we're going to do, if you've been here, I guess people do some manual labor as they come on the show. If they're like, we did not sign up for this, Adam, moving heavy tables. We've got Ian Brown and Gabe Roberge here with Namjim. How you doing?
What's up?
Yeah, man. What's up? How you doing?
Good, hanging out, just keeping it real, doing the thing lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
Right, hanging out with you guys. What do you got in front of you?
We're going to cook some food on the radio. It's going to sound delicious.
So we need to make lots of noise for this today, cooking food on the radio.
We talk about how delicious it tastes.
And we'll talk about, it'll be like, this is delicious.
Yeah, a lot of
Tell it for folks across the province, if they're not familiar, if they haven't seen some of your online videos, if they haven't come here and experience some of your food, what are you all about?
So our whole thing is to kind of cook Thai-inspired food, but using like some ingredients that are a bit more quintessentially Newfoundland. So in front of us today, there's root vegetables like carrot and turnip. We got salt cod. So things that you probably wouldn't see on a table in Thailand, but are very recognizable to folks here.
So how did you, for this dish you're about to make, how did you get to this for the local ingredients to do a Thai-inspired dish that, by the way, like when I've had it, it brings, I'm like, this is Thailand, but with Newfoundland stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the vegetable stuff was more just like a texture thing. I think a lot of what we do here is like, we'll like start with a recipe that might be like a more like traditional Thai dish, but then like implement a lot of like Thai ingredients, like the root veg. Instead of green papaya, it's turnip and carrot. Instead of like dried fish or dried shrimps, it's like salt cod that we cook down. So we're still using like the same flavors and like all the same like ideas behind all this stuff, just a lot more local.
So what was the moment like when you're doing this, you're doing the food mucking around, and then you're like, hey, try this. This is it. This is right now. Like, what's that moment like?
We were like, this is going to sound great on the radio one day.
That's all.
And I mean, and it does. And you guys text me every time. You're like, this is good. This is what it's for.
That's why we text you every time we put a new thing on the menu.
Every new dish. All right, who's gonna? It's here.
It's here.
I love it. Who's doing the prepping here now? Who's gonna take over?
Who's gonna make?
Maybe I'll put stuff in. You
wanna
talk
make
us through it.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I'll shift around to the other side of the table. Here, make some noise with that thing. See, Radioland. That's the music. That's the magic of radio right there.
You know what this is called?
A giant mortar thing?
What? Is it called a puck puck?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because that's the sound it makes.
Puck puck.
Yeah. Puck 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 puck. It's true.
Because I'm familiar with tuk-tuks in Thai.
Tuk is the same idea.
Tuk-tuk, but it makes you go.
Tuk 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 tuk. Yeah. Puck 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 puck.
Cultural learning as we move through the show.
It's all about education, educating our viewers.
It's true. So what's happening here now?
We've added the vegetables to the puck puck, and Ian's just pucking it around. We're gonna add some other stuff. The dressing he's added is fish sauce, lime juice, sugar. It's like pretty punchy, pretty salty, sweet. These are just peanuts that we've just kind of candied, crushed them up. It's kind of like those nuts you get at, I don't know, McDonald's on your Sunday. Got some mint. Smells nice, tastes nice, looks nice. It's nice.
So as this is happening, what are some of the other things that you make for Thai inspired?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of really, this dish really exemplifies kind of what we're all about with like combining like Thai flavors with a lot more local ingredients. But I mean, right now on the menu we have like a cod larb, which like larb in Thailand is like a pretty like quintessential dish there that can be made with loads of different things, but we're doing it with like fresh Newfoundland cod. So it's things like that. We're still making the dishes, but just a little differently with what we have available, especially because, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows how hard it is to get, fresh ingredients here sometimes. So we just kind of got to work with what we have.
So as stuff changed, I talk a lot about like for different diaspora, Newfoundland and Labrador, you have culturally appropriate food. You go back 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it was a completely different scene. How is it getting easier to get certain things here in your, like, for what you've seen? Because like for me, for example, I was into an Asian grocery the other day. It's doubled in size. There's a lot more you can get. I've noticed some difference. What about yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends. Depends on the time of year. It depends like who you're working with too. I think like a lot of farmers around here are really willing to work with restaurants and chefs. Like we've like been able to fill in the blanks of stuff we can't normally get here with like farmers just growing like cool stuff for us, and they'll just ask like at the beginning of the season, like what would you like to see? So that's what we're able to get. Like a lot of the nice varieties of basil and stuff we use in our dishes. A lot of those kind of more niche ingredients, we just kind of built up a Rolodex of contacts over the years. but it can be tricky overall. Like even just like getting like noodles and like shrimp paste and like ingredients like that you can't usually get here. We have to like ship those in, so there's still some challenges, but.
What about, I'll get you to describe this 1 second. What about, when it comes to food and what you do, what about it brings you joy? Like what's a memory or something about this experience, the journey you've both been on with Namjim, that brings you joy?
I mean, I think the whole thing has brought me joy. It's been like.
I love how you're looking into each other's eyes right now as you do this.
Yeah, I mean, we started working together like so many years ago now, and I've just kind of like fell into this nice routine of it. And it's really just been like a really positive kind of like collaborative experience. You know, being able to like kind of do what you love, but still do it with someone else, you know, share it with someone else, like bounce ideas off them. Yeah.
Ian, what about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I guess food, just by nature, is just like a nurturing act, you know, to feed someone. But I guess on a more personal level, it's just like it's a creative outlet. It's like, it's nice to work with your hands. The act of just like creating something from not nothing, but, you know, it's kind of like a puzzle you piece together. And just to kind of circle back to like the type of food we do, it's just like, you know, once you figure out that like you need a salty ingredient, it doesn't necessarily need to be something you found in Thailand, you know, you can find something locally. So it's kind of just like playing around with that stuff and figuring out what works is fun.
Describe the dish that you just made in no time, by the way, but describe what it looks like, and then I'm going to ask you about flavor.
I mean, it's pretty colorful. We got a lot of green, orange, red, yellow.
All the colors.
Very, very colorful. It's like
You name it, we've
crunchy.
got it.
It's crunchy. There's citrus, so it's bright. It's like a real nice accompaniment to a lot of. If something's like kind of fatty or salty, this is going to be a really nice side to just kind of like cut through, you know?
Yeah, like if you're eating like pork belly or something, right? Very rich, very. You can be like, okay, that's a lot, but then that, like the citrus, the little bit of the fish sauce, the flavor explosion with the heat in this, I think, like you said, cuts through it, and it's such a great experience for eating. I find, right? So.
Yeah, I think like this with like fried chicken or something like that. It's like a super classic pairing. Something like that. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna dig into this, and you guys are gonna come back in a little bit for a little bit more of a chat. So we're gonna dig in, have a bit of a bite to eat, and remind folks what it's called again.
Shamtam Shalub.
I should remember not to interview a guest as they are in the middle of eating.